Welcome back to the big show. This is Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. My name is Josh Lilquist, and we have been having a good time discussing different income strategies with the second job. Hopefully, the market is that place for you, and there's strategies that are designed for that. And we had a lot of people texting into this free class. We have free classes that we offer to be introduced. So if you're brand new to the markets, you want to check it out, you can text the word investing to the number 210-210. Or we have a 3-day deep dive into the financial markets. There is a tuition associated with that. It's normally $200. For you radio listeners here today, it's only $99. So if you're driving, you might want to pull over and we give a phone number to call. So when you call in, mention you want the 3-day deep dive into the financial markets. We cover all the different asset classes, income strategies, 401k, IRA strategies, and really how to be consistent and confident making your investment and trading decisions, whether you're brand new or if you've been trading for many, many years. You can call right now for 2 seats. Call right now. Call 952-814-4410. That's 952-814-4410. You can receive 2 seats for this class for only $99. So call in right now, and we'll make sure we find a date that works the best for you. We have these on the weekends and the weekdays, so you can choose whatever makes sense on your schedule. So, Al, we were talking about those income strategies, whether you're in your working years and during retirement on that last segment. But we have a lot of people that have 401ks, IRAs. You did mention there's a lot of, I think you call them pundits out there, talking about there potentially could be a 10-year sideways markets. Well, think about that for a second. If you're close to retirement or just retired or plan on retiring soon, you can't afford to have 10 years with zero growth in those retirement accounts, because what will happen is you'll just draw it down. And eventually you either have to stay working or go back to work. And that's not what people want to do in their retirement years. And that's, hopefully those retirement years are their 40s and 50s. But unfortunately, it's usually 60s and 70s for most people. So if you want to have that opportunity to retire on your terms, you might need to protect those retirement accounts, but learn how to grow them and strategies to do that no matter which way this market goes. I want you to discuss those different strategies to protect your retirement accounts, but also to continue to grow those on your terms.
Well, protection is huge. I think the number one thing that you need to learn to be long-term a successful trader or investor is how to not lose, how to protect your assets. So here's a good question. I think if you were in the market last year and you lost money, why did that happen? How were you protected? If you had an advisor, how were they protecting you? You might even want to ask them that. And the typical answer is, well, you're diversified. And the problem is that the way that Wall Street protects you with that diversification, you may mitigate the loss a little bit, but it can't prevent loss. And there are other ways of doing this that they probably aren't going to talk about because it takes a little bit more time on their part, a little more effort. But protection is the number one thing. And we encourage you to put more money into those plans. Is it because they're really concerned about your future, or is it they're more concerned about the fees that they're going to be generating from you? So if you're putting your money into something beyond that match, you're putting money into that maybe gets you 4, 5, 6% on an annual basis.
Sometimes it scares them. I've had some conversations. Oh, I'm scared to do that. Well, are you scared to drive over a bridge? You do that because you've learned how to drive. It's just like anything you do in your everyday life. It could be scary up front, but the only reason you have fear is because you don't know what you're doing. And you help a lot of people, I guess, cross that bridge, right?
Yep.
You help bridge that gap from being uncomfortable to comfortable. So what are some of the things that you do to help people be okay with managing their portfolio? And by the way, you don't have to take your whole portfolio. Say you got $100,000 or $1 million or $10 million or $100 million, whatever that may be. Maybe is there ways to take portions of that so that way you build consistency? That's one of the things I think people are looking for, is to be comfortable doing that. How do you help people cross that bridge?
Yeah, well, one thing is when you're starting out, just take a small part of what you have. The great thing about using some of the assets that we teach our students is that you can use small amounts of money with leverage. So in other words, a small portion of your portfolio can actually control something that's worth a multiple of it. It's a leveraged asset, like the futures market, the foreign exchange market, the options market. And I know a lot of people, when they hear those words, the fear increases. Well, it's because you don't know what those markets are. No one has educated you on them. And when you go to the airport and you get on a commercial flight, the pilot is in that cockpit because he has learned how to fly that plane. He is educated. It's not somebody that just walked in off the street and said, I think I want to take a 757 to Seattle today. No, it's like anything else, any profession, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, a pilot, no matter what you do, an electrician, a plumber, you had to learn something. You had to learn something you didn't know about before to be able to succeed at it. And that's what we do. We open up, kind of pull back the curtain. There's a lot of conditioning done by Wall Street to create that fear, to build that fear so you feel you can't do it on your own and you need them to do it. And
Yep.
that's absolutely not the case. At least come into one of these classes and let us show you how we can kind of remove some of the clouds out there and really talk about specifically what you need to know. And there's also so much, I'm going to use the word fluff out there,
Yep,
that
you're right.
is a waste of your time. Just concentrate, and we do this. We have our students concentrate on the only thing that factually moves price and how to identify that on a price chart.
Yeah, you kind of reminded me of when the first time I walked into Guitar Center. I wanted to learn how to play the guitar and how intimidating that was for me walking in, not knowing the terms,
Sure.
not knowing, chord. I was saying, oh, what about the notes you got to play? And he goes, you mean the chords? And so it's just one of those things where it's the fear of the unknown. But what happened is I walked in there. I learned, okay, there's different things. Here's the type of guitar that you use. I learned from a professional, took some lessons. Now I'm playing Tom Petty.